it turns out Oprah Winfrey still has a show where she interviews people, and it's on her own network, literally her own network. It's called Super Soul Sunday. And recently she invited this swimmer, Diana Nyad, on her show. And you may have heard of Diana because she was this swimmer who went from Cuba to Florida in like 50 some hours a while back. And again, by herself, she swam unaided, no protective gear. And she's like 64 years old. Just an incredible feat. So Oprah had Diana on her show and they were talking about swimming, and they veered their conversation into spirituality at some point. And Nyad said to Oprah, like, yeah, I believe this world is an amazing place. I have this awe about the world and people and humanity and animals and plants and everything around it. But I don't believe in God. And Oprah responded by, and I'm slightly paraphrasing here, Oprah said, well, I don't call you an atheist then, if you find that beauty in the world. I couldn't believe it when I heard Oprah say that, because to me it was so dismissive of what Nyad was saying. It was ignorant and it was offensive, right? Like, it's just completely saying, you know that thing you labeled yourself? Well, I don't care because you don't fit my vision of where you belong. And again, as someone who spent a lot of time wondering, what do I call myself? And I know a lot of atheists have this thing. They don't want to use the word atheist. They might use humanist, agnostic, even jokingly Pastafarian or something. It takes a lot of time to kind of wear that label on your sleeve. Even if you're gay or lesbian or, queer, whatever label you use for yourself, it takes a while for you to figure out what that is, but then you embrace it. And here you have the swimmer who embraced the label of atheist. She knew she didn't believe in God, and she's explaining it, and Oprah's like, oh, well, you're not really an atheist because you don't fit my description of what that should be. And maybe that's just ignorance on her part, because the truth is, atheists do often experience awe and wonder. Like, if you're a scientist, you feel that sort of religious sensation that Oprah is referring to. You feel that when you're gazing into the stars or when you're looking through a microscope. If you're an atheist who just had a child, like, you look at your newborn baby and God had nothing to do with the birth of your baby, but it's like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. That's my baby. That's that feeling of awe and wonder. And what if you love music and you're an atheist? You could hear this beautiful concerto, or you could play a piece of music that really moves you. And you get that sense of awe and mystery and wonder and just amazement at how amazing life is. And Nyad was saying that. She was experiencing all of that. And for anyone to say, well, that means you're not an atheist because you love stuff and you find beauty in the world. And for Oprah, of all people, who has such a huge megaphone, to say that, that's kind of hurtful. And again, maybe it's just Oprah's ignorance. I would get it if she'd never had this conversation, or if she just didn't understand why that was offensive. But what I haven't heard yet is for Oprah to say, you know what, I heard from all of you who said that, it was wrong of me what I said. I understand why it's wrong. And I apologize. I didn't mean to suggest that atheists can't find beauty in the world. Of course they can. And I understand that. And I'm sorry. And in fact, I would like to make, this formal apology to all the atheists out there. I think if she did that, it would actually be a huge step forward. I think it would be a good step for her personally. Just to admit, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have said that, and I'm sorry that I did, but I didn't know any better. But now that I've heard from all of you, I do know better. I would love it if Oprah did that, but she hasn't done that yet, and that's disappointing. Because we all know Oprah has peddled a lot of things that are supernatural and superstitious, and she never apologized for that. She had Jenny McCarthy on her show pushing anti-vaccination stuff. Oprah pushed that book, The Secret, that says, like, if you want things to happen, then they will happen. This positive thinking. Like, there's no evidence for that. She pushed Dr. Oz on her show, and Dr. Oz has been peddling the same sort of not evidence-based medicine. So, Oprah already has this sketchy relationship with the atheist community. This didn't help. But again, she would make things a whole lot better if she issued some sort of formal apology. But she hasn't done that yet. My name is Hemant Mehta. I write at friendlyatheist.com. If you'd like to leave a comment or question below, we'd love to check it out.